How you guys doing? This is Captain Spencer Clark with Breaking Bass Guide Service down here at Table Rock Lake, Lake Taneycomo. Just wanted to give you guys a weekly fishing report on the fishing down here at Table Rock. Right now, the lake level is about 920. It's down from 927 just a week or so ago. Lake's still about 5 foot over full pool. So the water's still a little relatively high, but with the water coming down, they've been pulling a lot of current through Table Rock Lake. The fishing is getting a lot better. Right now, they got so much current going through Table Rock that pretty much all the main lake points have got fish on them. Catching a lot of good fish. The fishing has really come a long way for me in the past week or so. As the lake's starting to get back down a lot, starting to catch a lot more. Had a couple real successful guide trips last week. Took a 9-year-old and his grandpa out the other day, and I mean they really caught a ton of fish. Caught some really good bass. Had a couple 4-pounders and a 3-pounder. Just a fun day on the water. It's always fun when you get to take kids fishing and do trips like that. That's one of my favorite things to do is get the kids out on the water. Also had a trip where I had a couple guys, and I had one guy that looked like he could have been a basketball player. He was like 6'5", and I've never seen anybody work the fish over as much as he did with a Carolina rig that day. I mean, he caught like 25 fish on a Carolina rig. So last couple trips have been a blast. Just want to give you guys a quick report on Table Rock though. Right now on Table Rock Lake, there's a good topwater bite going on. It's only happening for about the first couple hours of the day. If it's going to be a sunny day, if you get a cloudy, nasty day, like we had down here on Saturday, that bite can go on pretty much all day, if you just know the places to throw it. But in the mornings, I'm catching a lot of good smallmouth and spotted bass. Getting out there on the shad spawn, catching some real good fish. And the best bait for me has been just a Rapala Pop-R, just a shad-colored one like this. For whatever reason, the post-spawn on one of these Pop-Rs is really hard to beat. When you work this bait correctly, it tends to just spit water, and what that really mimics is something trying to eat those little fry and stuff like that are up around the bank. So that's been working really good right off the rip for about the first hour or so of the day. You could throw like a spook, you could throw a buzzbait. Buzzbait's been working good too. After that morning bite's over, the fish kind of go down, get a little bit more choosy on what they want to hit. Still been able to catch some fish in those same areas throwing a little fluke, just a little white fluke. This has been working really good, and the way I've been fishing it is I've actually been working it pretty fast. A lot of these places I'm catching fish, there'll be multiple fish there, like 6 or 7, good fish in an area, and I'll get a couple to eat that top water when they come up and they start busting the shad, and then when they go back down again, I can usually catch a few throwing a little fluke like this into the mix. So those have been the 2 best baits for me this week. Getting out there, real early in the morning. The other thing that's been working real good is the old shaky head. This is day in and day out. This has been getting bites pretty much any time of the day. The only twist that I've been doing with it is actually been throwing it on just a little Ned head like that. This is one of those 5-fish lures Ned head. I think Brian Snowden has come up with this, and this has been working really good. Just throwing green pumpkin with green flake. That's a real good color if you can find it. That's been catching a ton of fish. Mainly been fishing this in and around the bushes that are on main lake points. Just out to about 20 foot of water, just kind of working it slow. Catching a lot of fish doing that. The Carolina rig's still working a little bit. But the thing that I'm most excited about is that in the last week or so, I've really been catching a lot more fish, throwing the old football jig. Jig fishing, that's something that I really like to do, especially when those fish start moving out, getting on those deeper structure spots. And I've been having a lot of success actually throwing this old Chompers jig, just green pumpkin with a little purple flash, a little purple silicone skirt in it like that. And I've been using the Strike King Rage Crawl as the trailer, and that has been catching a lot of fish this week, a lot more than the last 2 weeks. I've been trying it the last couple weeks, but this week it's really starting to pick up and catching a lot of fish just hopping that jig a couple foot off the bottom, and they're slamming it when it's falling on them. If I can't get them to eat the big jig, then I've just been downsizing, just going with a little Jewel Peewee jig. This little jig here, catch a lot of fish on Table Rock. Table Rock gets full of spotted bass and smallmouth, and they really like a little Peewee jig like this. So if I can't get bit on the big jig, I've been throwing this little jig out there, and this has been getting a lot of different bites, catching a lot of smallmouth doing that. But overall, the fishing is getting better, and we're starting to get into, like I said, that summertime feeding mode. The fish gotten done with spawning. They're recovering. They're starting to feed up, starting to eat more, and the fishing's getting really good. This weekend, with it being Memorial Day weekend, the lake's going to be a little busy. Just want to tell you guys, just try to use caution when you're out there on the water. Probably going to see a lot more boats this weekend, with it being the holiday weekend. Just everybody try to be safe, be as courteous as you can to other people while you're out there fishing. That's going to go a long ways this weekend. If you're looking to hire a guide, I'm actually available this weekend. I don't have any trips booked so far this weekend. So if you're looking to get out there and do some fishing, whether it be Taneycomo or Table Rock, we can go ahead and do that. The bass fishing on Taneycomo has been really good lately too. Catching a lot of bass out there. The trout fishing has been phenomenal. If everybody's wanting to go do some trout fishing, now's the time to do that. Been catching 100 trout or so a day. If you get me for a 6-hour trip, we're going to catch about 100 or so, because the other day did kind of a mixed trip on Taneycomo. Caught some really good bass. Caught a couple 3-pounders, and then we switched up, went and did some trout fishing, and we caught about 30 or so, and we were only out there for about 3 hours. So it's getting pretty good. It's been good the last couple weeks. Anyways, guys, that's kind of what the gist of the fishing is down here at Table Rock Lake. Looking to hire a guide, hit me up. Until next time, guys, good fishing. We'll see you on the water.